round of 48 here in the men's QS 10,000s. Out in the water, Neymar McGonagle, Michael February, Keanu Singh, and Gony Zubizarreta. Another international cast of surfers for yet another heat.
His backhand at this wave, spot on. Let's take a look at the South African. And I loved when Michael got to the inside here. Barrick de Vries was right there clapping, pumping up his fellow countrymen. Such a unique style that Michael carries. It is very freestyle, as his nickname represents. It doesn't really, I mean, you try to figure out like who he surfs like. He surfs like Michael February, you know, and that's unique to this type of sport, lifestyle. You can have your own cruisy way to how to express yourself. It's a 6,000 or 10,000. Here
we go. Neymar McGonagle. Nice flow on the backhand. Can he hang in through that late hit on maneuver number 2? And Neymar does so. Large frame, a muscular surfer, second generation pro surfer actually. As we see Neymar moving his way to the inside. He's going to get a couple little taps on the inside. Actually, that last turn was more than a tap. Right behind him, Michael February looking to make the connection. Freestyle. Weave in. Can he make the connection as well? And he's successful. Goes to the backhand for a nice vertical stab there. So, nice exchange between Michael February and Neymar McGonagle.
This is February. See, he carries a ton of speed, little snap, and then underneath it, you can see that technique, gets up, gets the board up, head below the knees and waist.
And this is live action of Keanu Singh, Anu boy. Hits the lip outside. He's currently rated 6 on the qualifying series. Got a long road to go yet, but he wants to make it back on the championship tour where he won his first event last year in France. And just looking like a veteran, Keanu Singh, finishing off, completing that.
They do get to have their replays, but the replays are going to happen so quickly as well because the guys are going to be right back out there again. Keanu gets that floater where he drops the tail, again accentuates the floater, hang time up into the lip, makes that clean, keeps the speed, gets the inside now. That lower tide, we've seen that the surfers had a little struggle to get there, but not in this heat. Plenty of size on those sets. Nice bottom turn to top turn combination on the inside shore break.
Everybody screaming. I got chicken skin just to hear everybody screaming. So, yeah, proud.
Well, congratulations, Carlos. You're well on your way. Great surfing today. Beautiful, excellent ride. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Strider, and congratulations to Carlos Munoz as we look at Neymar McGonagle, fellow countryman of Carlos Munoz, and trying to make the connection, unable to do so. With 19 minutes on the countdown. Scores have come through, so we have a clear vision of the standings in the heat. Michael February out in the lead, yet to break the 2-point range on any of his rides. Looking to Gony here, and he's going to remedy that with a nice flow, nice lip glide, and followed up with a little re-entry. So good flow on the outside. 2-maneuver combination, and this wave looks like it's bringing in some energy all the way through to the shore break, so more opportunity for Gony. Let's see what he has on the inside. Punches the lip, and comes through, completes.
Mendez is at 22,000 points, right? That is, you look at the past 4 years in point totals, you need to be 18.5, 18, you know, to be even considered in that top 10. So that really kind of shows that the only guy who really has got his spot solidified is that man, Jesse Mendez. Everyone else still needs to gain a lot of points, so it's an important event here watching this Vans US Open. Replay of that last wave, 2 nice turns on the outside, and then this, the finish, you know, a bit of electricity there. I like that because he needed to do that to really make sure that the judges understood that that was a solid score. He did that. What was nice about that wave, too, is that no one else was riding.
Watch because we get a lot of action, Peter.
So true.
Here we go. Speaking of action, February goes to action here, snaps off the top, gets quick to the lip to fit 2 maneuvers in on the outside. Second one's a nice vertical kind of pivot turn, but that's going to be a score nonetheless. February looking to improve upon just a mid-range score of a 5 as he brings this wave all the way through to the inside, building up some speed, looking for something spectacular to finish. Banks it off the top, and that's enough in the air, just off of the strength of his surfing, his flow, his speed, power flow.
So this is last wave. Late to that, you know, maneuver on the outside closeout section. but he pulled it off. But the judges will take note when you get there late. You know, he tried to kind of fit 2 maneuvers in a very small space, but he did it. And then again, going into this final section here, trying to improve on that 5.0. And I believe he may have done that.
He sure did. 5.93 is the number, so Michael February extends his lead. 3 surfers behind him. He can come back, and we've seen comebacks in the last minute throughout Vans US Open of Surfing. A little late there to the lip. This is Keanu Singh heading into the pier. Gets another backhand off the top. Now Anu boy, Keanu, is going to duck and weave through this flat section here. Weaving the board back and forth, gets through that flat section, snaps it one time, and unfortunately had it done, was looking forward, but as he was projecting through the next maneuver, poked the nose and went down.
Yeah, that's a little bit of the case of looking a little bit too far forward down the line. A full new gamut of guys who are specialists in Hawaii.
That's right, as we look to Keanu Singh, currently in 3rd place, and weaving through here. Needs a 5.37 or better. That's his need to score on this wave. Let's see what he has on the inside. This time, throws it up in the lip and goes complete. Right behind him, McGonagle. Neymar currently in 2nd place, and he wants to hang on to that 2nd place. He needed to better a 4.87. I don't know if he did that on that particular wave. And right behind him, in the green jersey, Gony, Zubizarreta, Spaniard. It's going to be an awkward place through the pilings right here to place a maneuver. Let's see what he's got. And quick feet gets him to the lip and right out of that closer. So here's a replay of Gony's wave.
Again, the backhand wasn't able to get up there for that 2nd maneuver, but did get the first quick snap. But I like how he gets to the inside here. He sticks with it. You know, he's looking for just a mid-range score before this wave, and you know, again, next to the pier, gets the speed, and then the bottom turn, loads up, banks it off the top. So nice and solid, carried the speed through that final maneuver.
The consistency
is crazy.
It's been a pleasure to watch as Michael February. This is our heat leader at freestyle. Looks like he's getting funky through this section right here, winding up for something, and snaps it, throws some fins out there. So Michael Freestyle February.
I think that's partially of how, you know, because a lot of times you're going to be coming from behind. Let's take a look here at the replay. Beautiful hooking snap, and then a connection with the lip vertical. So 2-turn combo on the outside. This is going to improve his situation, I believe. You know, those were strong maneuvers on the outside. And of course, he's not going to give up on it. And there's his weaving to get through. And again, connection with the lip. No problems there. No hitches in the rail. And then the replay. One big hit from Neymar, and he's playing up to his Costa Rican fans. And you know, he saw what a score was given to his countrymen for one big maneuver on that outside section. He emulated that for the most part. He didn't get the connection to the inside though, but pretty strong maneuver on the outside. Again, just catching up to all the action that's been happening. There's Keanu. He gets the one maneuver. I like how Keanu, again, you see how they weave. They got very similar, keeping that board moving down the line. And that time he wasn't going to make a mistake. He was going to make sure that he completes the move on the shore break.
There's a view of the Huntington Beach Pier, and this is Keanu Singh up and riding. Floats it, rock and rolls up in the lip, banks it off the whitewater, which is very difficult because that's some turbulent water that's bouncing off the pilings. Redirects on the right, gets through the flat section, bangs the lip, and stands up complete. Little fist pump for Keanu. He's feeling it. He thinks that he got that 6.1 that he needed.
How that felt, you'd have to say that that big float, pretty neat. And then again, that's a very committed maneuver. It doesn't necessarily score real high with the judges, but he did throw itself up there. I mean, very easily his board could have gone away from under it, but he kept it in control, kept the speed up, and a beautiful finish here. Tags it hard. So again, he's got those judges thinking right now because a 6.10, well, he's going to do it.
There he goes. He's going to look left. This wave's going to close out. He goes up in the lip. That was a high flying float, high risk maneuver. Let's see what else he's going to have for us on this wave. Staying low to the board, trying to make the connection. That was a committed maneuver outside. 5.94 is the requirement. 5.94 is the score that he needs. Neumar. Just another inside tap. Throws his hands up to both his Costa Rican fans on the beach and the judges as that was it. Are you not entertained? Give me the score. Right behind him, Gony Zubizarreta. I'm not sure if Gony was up before the horn blasted. We'll get that news.
What a finish.
What do you think?
Neumar and Gony Zubizarreta. I think that Gony did stand up before that final spuzzer, so we're going to be waiting on 2 scores before this one's over. Have his own support crew, I'm sure, inside the competitors area, but he didn't quite have all those flags on the beach. So if this wave does count, the float on the outside, the only maneuver, yes, but he got a pretty good move on the inside too, so kind of similar. I mean, which wave was a little bigger? I think that Neumar's on the outside section was a little bigger and a little more dynamic turn, but the inside section I feel like goes Gony's way. You know, he did connect with the lip right there. He got an open face, whereas you saw that Neumar's kind of backed up. I mean, it had a bit of foam and kind of didn't open up. There's that float maneuver. Extends himself. You know, that angle kind of takes away from the fact that he carried so much area down the line towards the pier when you looked at it live and front on. And then this wave did not open up as much as he would have liked. He did get the maneuver, though. He got up there and he tagged it, but it wasn't really an open face maneuver. So you feel like that Gony had a little bit better out on the inside, but I would give the outside move to Neumar.
Neumar up in the competitors area already and awaiting the news, talking it over with Jim Hogan. Neumar got a 6.67. That's enough to put him into second. 5.6 for Gony Zubizarreta on his last wave. Not enough. The Costa Rican.
Oh, the flags are waving.
Pura vida and great feeling moment. We're going